Let's see what happened last time. Besides lots of people going down. Let's see. There you go. All right, so you guys started off mid-battle, basically, within the wine-making vat room. These 4 great big vats. Looked like 3 of them were filled with wine or grapes or something, and the other one was cracked open. As things began, let's see, Victor, you were in the doorway. To your right was this ramp going up that had this vines and growth growing down it. After you just smacked the Druid leader, you think is the leader anyway, with your shield. To your left was a massive bear, these huge bone spurs and spikes, mangy looking. Bits of fur were missing on this thing. To the side of you, the growl. You decided to end up running back into the room, slammed the door shut, the bear on the other side, and started working on the enemies that were in the room. At left, Dre, you were up on the balcony dealing with a pair of the vine blights, or these humanoid-looking blight things. Everybody else was downstairs dealing with 2 druids that came into the room, along with 18 more of these twig blights. Let's see. Eventually, the bear busted down the door, started smacking people around a little bit. Mornak got in its way. Mud ended up getting in its way. Vasily was in its path, but was able to get out of it in time. Made pretty quick work of the blights, I believe. Mud, he got underneath one of these huge grape crushing things and ended up taking you out with it, but it killed a huge chunk of the blights with it as well. Vasily took care of the 2 druids and a couple other blights with his darkness creature, which he then set on the bear, and the bear made quick work of that. He was coming towards Vasily. I believe it smacked him down too, because that is when Victor cried for poor Vasily, his imaginary goat friend, and leapt off the balcony. You impaled this thing down into the floor. Did quite a big chunk of damage with that one, I believe it was. And then a few other hits. Let's see, Mud, you were able to, well, that's when Stefani came in as well, but she was able to get Mud to get you up. You were able to get Mornak up. Vasily got in turn, got up from Dre, maybe? I didn't put in who got him. Somebody got him up, though. Oh, yeah, Dre used his inspiration point to get Vasily back up. Everybody was looking a little rough. Let's see. Dre ended up doing the last blow on this giant dire bear to take that thing out. That is when Stefania, well, she was there. You guys also saw Jack. He was getting ready to come into the room. It looked like he was intending to maybe, it's hard to say if he was going to fight with you or not, but it seemed like he had a bit of a grudge against these druid people. So he was going in and wasn't too pleased with them, but he got dragged back out by the mists, and it sort of looked like this portly, noble, fat person was formed in mist, like a ghostly image that was grabbing him with these tendrils and skeletal hands and dragged him back outside. You could hear him screaming and fighting outside when the doors slammed shut. Stefania helped out a little bit. You guys could all hear screaming down into the basement. So Stefania, Mornak, Victor, and Vasily all headed down the stairs. Mud and Dre, man, lots of names to keep track of. Mud and Dre, you guys stayed back for a few moments, looking to go down basically behind everybody, and you could see this one druid, this leader person, come into the room, this huge black staff that he had that was just dripping with blood. He slammed it down into the ground. You could see these black tendrils growing across the floor towards you as he started to walk towards you. You guys ended up deciding to go downstairs and help out what was going on there. You could hear the screaming and the fighting, and sort of see good riddance to this druid fellow for the time being. Downstairs, you ran into a druid with 4 blights. You guys absolutely obliterated them really quick. And then on the right-hand side of the room, these barrels were spinning down the barrel ramp, crushing some of the people that were in their way. Between Mud and Victor, you guys were able to stop a couple of these barrels. Dre and the others were cut free, these prisoners who all looked to be family members or workers for the winery, and pulled them to the side. Did I put their names? Oh, crap. I don't have the sheet that has their names with me down here. But anyway, I did have Adrian, which is Stefania's husband. He was the one that was there, along with just mostly some of the older folk. I don't remember their names offhand, but they were sort of just side NPCs. None of them really interacted with you. They're all beat up a little bit, but for the most part, okay, except for Adrian. Just as we ended, you could see Stefania. She was looking over to you, Mud, basically hoping you would do something since you could see some of your spells going off and stuff. And you did use, I believe it was your last spell shot, to go over and heal this man. It did wake him up. He was pretty badly injured. You seemed like you stabilized him. He was still semi-conscious, not really fully with it, but he seemed okay for the time being. The others sort of gathered him up and were helping him out. And just as we ended, Stefania walked over and placed these couple of grapes that she still had and crushed them onto his chest. And you could all see some of his limbs were sort of snapping back awkwardly. And he let out this sort of, not really a scream of pain, but it was like he was just being jolted awake or something. And there was just a flash of black feathers. And that is where we ended it. Let me get these notifications off that keep popping up out of my way. You guys want to add anything else? I think that's
sounded pretty thorough to me.
Everybody leveled up to 4th level. Just to make sure, don't forget that. Those few extra health points will come in handy, I'm sure. If you have any use per day or spells, they do not come into effect until you finish complete rest. If you have any other regular abilities or health or attribute increases, they go effect immediately. Alrighty then, let's kick things off.
The only thing I had a question about is because when I level up, you can switch out spells. Mm-hmm. I switched one of my spells out for something else. Do I have 0 of those new spells? Because I switched it out for one that I hadn't cast yet.
Is it the same rank?
Yeah, it's the same rank.
So if you do that, then if you had any castings of that spell you've swapped out, you'd have the same amount of the ones you swapped out.
Okay, that's all I was wondering. Yep. It was the same rank, it was just a different spell.
So just basically change the name and abilities, but otherwise the castings are still the exact same.
Okay.
All right. So all of you are down in this long basement. It's about 80 feet by about 20 feet wide. The back side of this room, you can see this really cold, frosty wall, and it seems like there's a cooler or something cold behind the wall. You don't see any doors leading out there, but there's going to be a total of 6 big barrels that are lined up against the wall that are still frosted over. Beyond that, there's just a shattering of other barrels that were rolling down that were smashed. It looks like whatever was rolling them down from above was filling them with basic just water or rocks or whatever they could fit into these barrels to make them heavy. Other than that, there's not a whole lot down here. All the way over to the western wall is a stairway that leads upstairs. You don't remember seeing this stairway from the floor you were at above, so you either leads somewhere else above or it leads all the way up to the 2nd floor. On the right-hand eastern wall is the barrel ramp that goes all the way up. This thing is covered now mostly in these vines that are slowly crawling down into the room and branched off with these big thorny branches and flowers. And they're slowly crawling forward. It's not in immediate danger right now, but it looks really risky to try walking up or dealing with. And then there's the main stairwell that you came down into this room from. As all of you look over, you can see these NPCs. There's 2 older men, or an older man and an older woman, 2 middle-aged couple, both man and female, and then Stefania and her husband, Adrian. Adrian is on the ground. You'll see this black flash of feathers. And as she steps back, where his body was is now this crumpled-looking raven. You can see it's badly injured. But this old woman will go over and cradle this thing up and wrap it in her shirts a little bit. Stefania will look at him. Davian, he's out further to the north. If you follow the road, just go ahead. Get Adrian out there. He'll help you from there. She'll look over the rest of you. We have to get rid of that druid that's upstairs. Will you please help me? I'll do what you need, but we can't let them have it. We can't let them be here. Please, we have very little time. If you do not wish to help, I understand. You've done more than I've even asked. But whether you go or not, I'm at least going to kill him myself.
Did she point in any direction, like saying upstairs, like he's over here at these stairs or over there at those stairs?
No, I mean, I guess she would have motioned upstairs because she knows he's up there somewhere, but beyond that, she didn't point out any specific.
Okay. I think Victor would just immediately start walking upstairs, like he's going after him. Plus, he's got to get a shield, so. And it's upstairs, luckily.
While we're not in combat, can I do my endurance point and gain some life?
Yep, you can use up as many as you want that you have.
Okay. Well, I have one, but I want to use my fortune point to also turn it into an endurance point so that I get the life.
Gotcha. She'll look at the others. You can see she's determined regardless, but she still does have this pleading sort of look on her face. And she'll turn to these others, these friends of hers, and go ahead. Take Adrian. Davian will know what to do. The rest of you, if we don't come out, if you don't see me again, I've already spoken to Davian. She'll sort of motion forward these other people to start heading up the stairs.
Sounds like more fun, and I follow behind Victor.
I think I'll take a deep breath and utilize one of my other endurance points before I follow. But I will follow. Now that I seen I seen the drone at the top of the stairs last time before we came down.
Mm-hmm.
Probably will follow as well.
So Stefania will motion for these
as well.
Stefania will motion for these other people to go ahead, and they hurry up the stairs, and you can see they hurry out this doorway that's currently open. When you came down, well, actually everybody, you didn't notice this doorway back out to the main courtyard that was open. The same one Jack was pulled free from, and now hangs open though. And these four people go out, and you can hear the squawking and the screeches of ravens in the distance. A few black feathers drift to the ground outside. And as all of you start to make your way up this stairwell back upstairs, Stefania amongst you as well, as she set it up. Well, Victor, you were in the lead heading up after the others, so you will see somebody step through this doorway. Tall, kind of skinny man. He looks completely roughed up. And he glances over. You see Jack standing there in the doorway, this fog swirling around his feet, this wide grin on his face. One of his arms, not the one holding his sword, so his left arm hangs pretty limply at his side, and he looks just completely battered and bloody. His hair is a mess. His skin is sort of this greenish gray, sickly sort of color. You lot ready or not? We have work to do. You know, there's nothing more than I hate than the Druid folk. Except the Vistani. I fucking hate the Vistani, but I hate the Druid folk too. And you know, I don't really like the last of you either, but if it means I get to kill Druids, then I'll lend a hand. Give me a few bottles of wine and I'm good. He'll offer this wide smile, winks towards Stefania.
Who is this?
Jack.
Yeah.
Oh, Jack. Oh.
Victor's going to walk, like, quite literally straight past him, just ignoring him. Not even, like, doing the shoulder bump thing, passing by. Like, he's just completely ignoring him, going up to the druid. Or finding the druid, that's where, because he's on a mission. And plus it's Jack. We just ignore Jack.
And you can see Stefania. I hate this guy. Yes, Jack. We'll happily give you a few bottles of wine if you want to lend us a hand, and then you can be gone from this place once again. And she'll pretty much do what Victor does, just walk right by him, try not to look at him. And kind of looks around, and you can see he shrugs his shoulder, and you hear the snapping sound as it pops back into place. It's like, what? I don't even get the fine greeting here. I come and help some friends, and here you are just walking past. You know, I could leave you all for dead. He'll give you a big, rough smack on the shoulder, Vasily, as you start to walk by. My good friend, are you ready for this, huh? Come on, let's go kill some druids.
I just show my teeth.
There you go. Scare them with your teeth.
like in that one scene in Fight Club where he goes into the office. They say, "Hey, how you doing?" He shows all the blood all over his face.
Excellent.
I was picturing more of a Mr. Ed kind of teeth showing there, but okay.
A bloody tooth, Mr. Ed.
Mud. Seems nobody wants to hang out with old Jack. But I know you and I, we're like bros, my friend. Yes, come on, let's go kill some druids. And he'll step in line right beside you, Mud, and sort of walk beside you. You should have seen the way I was slaughtering them outside. It was like that time that old Vistani man, he woke me and tried to steal my drink. I gutted him right there, you know. You remember that? No, you weren't there. Well, you woke up. But that's time for another story. Come.
Well, I don't think Mud will actually look at him or give him any credence. He will say, "Where you been?" as he keeps walking by.
Here, there, everywhere. Old Jack gets around, don't you worry. I prefer not to be throwing over cliff sides, though. No offense or anything.
Nah, I do believe you brought that on yourself.
Step into this main vet room where you saw the druid before. Mud and Dre, you guys will see the vines that were growing across the floor, these black, like, tendrils. These small mushrooms have sprouted up from it. It looks almost like a fungi or some sort of parasite growing across the floor. The wood is starting to rot around it a little bit, but you don't see any sight of the druid here in this main room. If you glance outside, actually, where the fellow winery workers, the old man and the others, where you don't see any sight of them outside either.
Did we find Victor's shield up there?
His shield is up in the rampway out in the main area there.
Can we tell what direction these vines are coming from?
They came from the doorway where you blocked it off where the bear was and you were standing. That's where the druid came through and sort of smacked his staff down. It seems like a central point that's a couple larger mushrooms, and you can see where the areas rotted out, the wood is and stuff. That seems to be where it's all sprouting. It's just kind of crawling across the floorboards and up some of the walls. So it looks like a super fast state of decay for the building wherever this fungus is growing.
Correct me if I'm wrong, when he came down and shut the vines out, everything was closed up.
Yes.
So now that the doors are open, it looks like he went outside.
Correct, yeah.
Mud will just turn and start walking that way, and he'll actually hold his shield out to Victor for now.
With like a massive grin, Victor's just going to take the shield and like slide it on his back belt loop, and just like he's just got the biggest grin on his face right now. But what's her name? Is it Stefania? Right?
Yes. Yep.
Gonna ask her. You said that he can't, or they can't have it. Is there a certain item that they're after, and that may lead us to where the druid is?
Since I meant the winery, they're here to overtake it, to destroy it, to level it to the ground. I will defend this place with everything I have. I will not let them take it and destroy it like they have everything else.
Is there a roll that I can make that I can see if she's telling me the whole truth, or if she may be trying to hide something?
You can make a perception against her will, which is a 14.
Okay. Ooh, that would be a 9 plus, I think, yeah, just the 9, so nope.
Yeah, I mean, she seems honest enough. She doesn't really have too much reason to, at least doesn't seem like she has much reason to hide. Says they came days ago and began attacking and pressed us out into the woods. We tried to fight back. And whatever it is, they came here and then they left again. And we tried to follow them up beyond Yesterday Hill, but there was too many. And perhaps we pissed them off more than we should have, or maybe they're back just to spite us. But whatever the case, they're here to destroy this building, to level it to the ground, and I can't imagine what that would do to the family, to the people, to the land.
The more time we, no offense, waste talking, the more of these vines and this growth is going to spread throughout the building. So let's hurry up and find this druid and deal with him before you lose the building.
I agree.
Warnak wants to take his knife and cut off part of the vines to see whether or not they're still animated or whether they just wither or what.
They will. Whatever you cut off will pretty much just wither away within a few moments and just be dried up in your hands. You could certainly like begin ripping them free from the boards and everything like that, but it'd be a lot of work to go down through.
When he does cut it off, I look at it eagerly to see if they bleed blood.
They do not.
Okay.
Sadly. No, but it seems to be really just sort of real vegetation that's just basically overgrowing and pulling apart and rotting away the floorboards and everything like that. Just like nature intended.
In that case, I think Victor's going to go to the ramp where he started going up before, where he threw his shield in that direction, because that's the last I saw of him. So I think that's where I'm going to head. And I will say, like, I saw him this direction last, so...
Victor, I believe he's moved outside.
Oh. Okay. Well...
Let's clean this up. Then we can repair. And with that, I'll actually grab Jack and shove him out the door. Or attempt to.
Nah, he was too busy probably looking around, so yeah, you can't kind of go and shove him. Ah, what the hell, Mud? If you just wanted to go outside and give me lovin's, then you need to ask first. I don't like to be grabbed that way. He'll step out, glancing around. Says, if you're looking for the druid, I seen him across yonder, on the other side by the stables. Says, is that what you're looking for, the big horny fellow? Is that what you want? Seems like you're kind, Mud.
I think without even saying anything, Mud will just nod his head and start walking towards the stables then. Time to clean up.
Warnak's just going to shake his head and say, Jack, I thought you were the one who was insane.
Just a little, my friend Elf. No. I have a bit of sanity left.
I'm actually going to ask Stefania, the way to the stables, like, of course, I'm assuming there's a door leading to it from the inside, but from the outside, is there, like, a way to lock the stable doors, or can we, like, maybe flank so this druid can't escape?
No, not really. The stables, it would be the same place that you saw the bear, Victor. But your point is, it's just an open stables on the other side of the building. We can walk around and have a bit of a vantage point, and maybe, somebody can scout ahead a bit and see what they see. Or we can head right through the doors and out the side, just where you were when I showed up, and where the bear came from. Perhaps we can flank them. A couple can go that way, and yes, I think that might be a good idea.
Okay, and with that note, Victor's going to be, like, going outside to go around. If anybody wants to come with, they're more than welcome, but he's ready for the druid to run.
I follow.
Warnak's also going to follow.
Okay. Well, wait a minute. Is all of us going outside and playing around? No one's going to go with Mud?
Oh, okay. I thought we were all going. Oh, I'll go with Mud, then you two can go the other way.
Okay. All right, that works.
Okay, so better question. Who's going around then, and who's going through the inside?
Mud Knight might not actually need any witnesses to what he may or may not do to Jack.
I don't think any of us will care. The only person that may care would be Dre, just because he doesn't know who Jack is. So, but Victor's going on the outside.
Okay, so Victor's outside.
Following the crowd. I'm not really invested in this Jack guy. You guys know him more than I do, so it's not really It's not really a priority for me.
Actually, I think I would kind of give Dre a little nod to come with me.
Done.
Yeah, because I think Dre's the one I can more easily talk into killing Jack.
I'll do it.
All right, so Victor, Jack, and Dre are outside at the moment. Stefani's going through inside. Is Mornak going through inside or out?
I'm sticking close to Victor.
All right, so you're going to...
I turn to Drahe as we're walking along. Drahe, is that what you said your name was? Or someone else?
Yeah, I just give Vasily a curt little nod.
May I have my crossbow back?
Yeah, I hand it straight to you.
Thank you, I may need this. I'm all but tapped out.
All right, so I got Victor, Jack, Dre, and Mornak are going outside. Does Vasily want to hang with Stefania and go through the inside?
No, I'm
go
going
out?
with I'm going with Mud and Drahe.
All right. So as you all
And I'm loading my crossbow as I'm doing it.
head outside, Stefania will look and see that she's by herself. I guess we're going outside then. She will quickly catch up to you guys. Step outside. It's raining out pretty good at the moment. This thick fog covers the ground up to like your kneecaps or so. In the distance, you can see a twigged white here or there moving about, but there's no immediate threat right by the building. A few just scattered wine barrels, carts, crates, and other things are scattered about. And Stefania will sort of step up next to you, Mud, and start leading the way along the side of this building and around. It would be the west or the eastern side of it, and then she'll stop. She'll put her hands up. Just around the corner is the stables. Perhaps if you give me just a moment, I'll see what I can see. And she doesn't even wait for anybody to like stop her. She scurries forward, and you can see her disappear around the corner.
I'm muted. I think Bud's still a little being played by her, and will, without even thinking twice about it, follow her around. And kind of put his hand back to everybody else, but follow her and try to sneak along with her.
Are you trying to be stealthy?
If she is, yes.
Yes, she is.
I'm trying to be protective.
So go ahead and give me that stealth. Agility roll.
I'll just follow Mud because he's obviously lovesick. Blinded.
15.
All right. Dre, you two, then give me an agility check.
Sure. How does a 15 sound?
All right. So both of you slide around the side of this building. You can see Stefania scurried for maybe like 10, 15 feet in front of you, but crouched down behind a wagon. You can see these huge dug-up earth paw prints from the bear that was out here. There is a large horse that is hooked to a wagon right there, which is what she hides behind, but it is completely mutilated and mauled. Part of it's eaten, it looks like, from the bear. It's loaded up with 6 wine barrels at the moment. You can see that they're full, but you don't know with what. You can see that they drip this purple sort of liquid out of them. And beyond that, you glance around. In the distance, you can see 3 of these forest folk. They're covered in thick hides, and all 3 of them have what look to be antlers sprouting off of their shoulders, kind of coming out almost like shoulder pads, but they're these giant antlers. They're about 50 yards out. Their backs are to you at the moment. In front of them is a smaller, really decrepit-looking forest. Looks more druidish. Has on just a simple, tunic little hide. His skin is really gray and pale. You can see these large open wounds that cover his body, and he holds a sickle in one hand. And these guys are all about 50 yards out. Both of you give me a perception check.
Now, this might be part of this check, but can we recognize any of them as the ones, especially me and Dre, since we were the last ones out, as the one who is in charge?
These ones that are up.
Before you answer, I get rolled an after one of our perception check.
Okay, the ones that you see in the distance do not look like him.
20 total.
All right, so as you glance around, Jay, you see these ones in the distance. They're all sort of back. They don't seem to notice you at the moment. but they're a good 50 yards out from this building. But you will hear this soft movement, shuffling sound above you, Drain. You can glance up. Up above you is a balcony. There's definitely somebody moving around up above you on the balcony above. You can't see him. I mean, you'd have to go out into the yard and sort of look up to the balcony to see who it is, but you can definitely hear him up there.
I'll just signal to Stefania. We're with Stefania still?
Yep, she's crouched right behind this wagon, so you guys would kind of come up beside her.
And Vasily is with us as well?
Yeah.
Okay, so I'll just signal to everyone that I hear someone above us, and then I'll signal the amount of enemies that I see that are 50 yards out or 50 feet out.
How many are there?
There is
three.
Yep, 3 of these 4 folk and 1 of this druid fellow, so 4 of them in total out in the main yard. They're sort of gathered in a circle. Looks like they're talking to one another, and then you can hear that something moving around on the balcony above you.
I don't like it.
Where's Jack? Is that him moving around up above?
No, you fool. I'm right here beside you.
Oh, okay, he's with us. Okay.
I know that I tend to disappear sometimes, but don't you worry, my friend. I'm by your side now.
I could try to sneak up behind whatever's on the roof, and then...
It would be good to know what's up there.
Yeah, I'm going to try and do that. That's kind of my jam. Kind of what I do.
As you start to slide out a little bit, you can hear this heavy thunk and the scraping of something up above. You can kind of go out to the yard and look up, or maybe along the side of the building and try to get a vantage point. It's kind of up to you on how you want to, or you could try to climb up there or something. Whatever you want to do, Dre.
What's the least conspicuous way of doing it? Would it be just getting an idea of what it is, or would it be sneaking up on it? It would be the least conspicuous way of doing it.
Probably trying to sort of sneak up the side of the building to get a chance, or try and get a vantage point along the side. So,
okay, let's do that then. Let me roll some dice. What do you need?
So
how about
as he starts climbing, every time his hands kind of dig in, the ice will form around his knuckles to secure his grip.
Yeah,
I like that.
Climbing up. So you get a boon on your roll.
nice.
Thanks, man.
So give me an agility check and give yourself a boon with that.
Sweet. Oh, baby. 20. Wait, I haven't even had my agility yet, so that's 22 plus my agility. 25.
Ooh, beautiful. Yes, you can sort of climb up the side of this building and grab a hold of a few of these rafters and pull yourself up, just so you're peeking sort of above up this floorboards and up. You will see the druid is up there, this main, larger, leadery looking one, Dre. You can see these black gowns, these hides that just hang off of him, this huge antler that comes up around his shoulders, this black staff that's just dripping with blood as it smears across the floor. He has that in one hand, and with the other hand, he's shoving one of these large barrels over towards the side where it would go down this ramp. And he's got 3 barrels set there at the moment. He pushes this last one into the spot. And then he'll...
ramp that was rolling barrels onto the corpses.
Yep.
Motherfucker. I want to take a stab at this douchebag.
And he'll stand there, and it seems like he's getting ready to basically pile more barrels down this ramp. And
So he looks a little busy, a little preoccupied at the moment.
yes, he does.
Oh, that's juicy. I'm going to slide my long knife out and put it between my teeth and go on all Apache on this dude.
All right. So you guys will see Dre as he comes up and takes a peek for a few moments, and then starts to pull himself up to the floor above. Stefano looking, what is he doing? He's going to get us all killed. So look back at the rest of you.
I'm sure he knows what he's doing.
I'm sure I don't, but I know I can outlay some damage if I get lucky.
If I see him move up like that, I'm going to try to, as safely as possible, quietly as possible, close the distance a little bit with the other ones on the hill.
Yes, Stefano's actually going to do the same. She'll lead you forward, Mud, in between a few of these wine barrels and crates out to, it's about halfway before they they're sort of at the edge of the vineyards, but you can get about 20, 30 yards out there before it's pretty much just open ground between you and them.
All right.
And she'll glance back over and we're going to have to act quick and distract them if I hope your friend can handle it alone.
If you want, I can try to immobilize these down here, Mutt.
Let's, why don't the three of us handle these ones down here? Mornak, Victor, back up Dre.
Fine, fine. I rub my hands together and I cast Grave Grasp. It creates a circle on the ground with a 5-yard radius centered on a point within short range. So all this wispy smoke just starts rising from the ground, and all these skeletal, rotting hands just reach up out of the ground and try to grab all of them.
Sweet.
They have to make an agility challenge roll.
They're not very good at that, I don't think. No, they're okay, but... You're going to grab 3 of them. The sickly-looking old druid guy's a little bit wily, apparently, as he'll scare you out of the way, but you're going to get these other 3.
They all take 6 points of damage from the clawing hands that just kind of reach up, and they're immobilized for the next minute. And unfortunately, this whole area is filled with hands just coming up out of the ground, grasping and clawing at anything, and it's difficult terrain.
Sweet. All right. Well, that was going to initiate some initiative, but first, let's hop over to Dre then. You will have... he is within, movement and striking distance if you're looking to strike him.
Yeah, so I want to see how much damage I can put into him with my long knife.
All right.
Before he's aware of me. And hopefully I roll well.
Give me an agility check first with a boon. See how stealthy you are. He is not paying attention.
That's a 6 on the die. 15, 21, 24. 24? 24.
Nope, you still got it anyway. So you're good. Go ahead and make a surprise attack. So you basically just get a boon since it's a surprise added to your attack roll.
Nice. Okay.
What is his defense? Let me check.
Holy shit.
Defense is 169. I think that's a misprint.
Oh, okay. I might actually still beat it with this roll. That's going to be pretty significant. And with my long knife as well, this is against his agility, not his defense.
Okay.
Not great on the D20, but that's going to be 22.
That's a hit.
Does that beat his defense by 5 or more?
Yes.
Or his agility by 5 or more, I should say.
Yeah.
Great. I might take a second attack against him in a second. All right. I will put some damage into this son of a bitch. Let's do some damage, baby. Oof. That is not great. That's 10 damage. 10 damage isn't too bad.
No, 2. That's pretty good for this game. Alrighty.
And I will use my swift strike and I'll hit him again. Please. Oh, 2 6s on my boons and then a friggin' 4 on the D20. That hurts. That's gonna be 12. 18 to hit against his agility.
For your boons, it's just whatever the highest number of your D6s is. So you only ever add 1 boon.
So that'll only be
12.
12. 12.
Yep. So when you have your banes and the boons, they'll cancel each other out, but just take whatever the highest die is out of the total of D6s rolled. So 12 does not hit.
No!
So you'll bury your blade in him for this first time, and you'll turn around, lets out this, sounds like he's cursing at you, but you won't recognize the language. And with that, we will enter initiative proper. So who would like to go fast or slow?
I'll go fast.
Slow.
How far are myself, Vasily? How far are we from the others?
From Mornak and Dre and them?
No, from
the other ones. You're in between, so you're 20 yards away from these enemies.
I'm in a movement phase. All right, then I'll go slow.
So mud is slow. Let's see, Victor, what did you say?
Slow.
Gotcha, Mornak. You muted Mornak.
Sorry, am I within medium range of these guys?
Yes.
Well,
All right, then I want to go fast.
weren't you coming with me, Mornak, or no? Because we were going to back up Dre. I mean, it's still your choice. Like, you can go and fight the group outside.
Yeah, I'll go back up Gray.
Still going fast?
Let me go slow, so I've got movement.
All right. And Dre, did you say fast or slow?
I think I'll go slow.
Gotcha. So only one going fast is Vasily. In that case, you are up first.
I just pull out my crossbow and fire at one of those that's held in the middle.
All right.
And this is agility. Looks at +2. Oh, it's only a 7. Okay, so I completely miss.
Yep, that will not hit for sure. They're mobilized. What's that do? I forget off the top of my head. I think you get a boon. I'm pretty positive. Just so you can add a boon.
That's only 2, so it's still only a 9.
I know they can't move. Their movement is 0, and all attacks get a boon on those guys. So, yep. All right. In that case, this druid in front of you, Dre, turns around. You can see he's sort of shows his teeth and growls at you a bit and starts to move forward. Give me a... Let's see what that does.
Nervous.
An agility challenge roll, please, with 2 banes.
Oh my god. Okay, Bane's. Oh, that's bad. That's a 4 total.
4. So he reaches out, and you can see this blast of, it looks like pieces of sand, glass, dirt, rocks, rubble, blast forth from a sort of like an open area in his chest as he steps forward. Going to take 2d6, 8 damage as all of this stuff hits you, and then I need a 1d6 roll.
I've been rolling high on my d6s. It's going to be fun. 6.
All right.
How bad is it?
So you have bleeding damage. You're going to take 6 damage for every action you take. So if you took a slow action and took 2 actions, you would take 12 damage.
Holy shit.
You can stop that by taking a slow action and using the whole turn to staunch the bleeding.
Okay.
And then with that, he's just going to try to whack you with his staff. What is your defense?
15.
And that's a 10. That's not. So yeah, he'll swipe this thing. You can just see this staff whip in front of your face. It splatters blood in this thick black sort of ichor across your body as it just barely grazes you. And with that, let's see, 4 folks are all immobilized. Does that give them the option to try and break free from that?
This is the creature can use an action to tear free, removing the immobilized affliction.
All right, so I'm just going to have those 3 break free. You'll see these larger, they're more barbaric looking, just start ripping their legs free as they look like they want to charge towards all of you. And they'll start pulling, smashing between these clawing hands at them and pulling themselves free. And this other one, he sort of looks at all of you grouped together, and he just holds his hands out and he rises them up. You're going to see these huge juts of thorns, spikes, these bits and pieces of earth jut up underneath all of you. So that would be Stefania, Mud, and Vasily. I need agility rolls.
14.
You're good.
18.
Ooh, both of you are good, so you only take half damage. For 4 points of damage, you both are going to take. Stefania takes the full brunt. And you'll see a couple of these huge rocks. Everything just tear up through. Gets in one of these pieces, digs deep into her leg, and see she drops down, clutching at her calf. And Druid lowers his hands again, and they just rip back down into the earth.
So did this druid step out of the grasping hands as well?
Yes. Well, he wasn't caught by it last turn. He was able to get out of the way.
So is he on our side of the grasping hands or the other?
Say that again.
Is he on our side of the grasping hands or the other?
He would be on your side, basically.
Okay.
Yep. And then these other barbaric-looking ones are just ripping themselves free and coming at you. And that is everybody.
If any of them are still in the grasping hands at the end of the round, they have to make another save to be immobilized.
They're just charging for it. What's the radius on it?
At least that's the way I'm reading it. It says each creature in the area, when you cast a spell or that is in the area at the end of the round, must make an agility challenge roll. And it's a 5-yard radius centered on the point within short range.
All right. So yeah, they're just going to take their action basically to pull. Well, they're going slow, so pull free and move out of it. So you just see all three of them come charging across the field towards you. The main older-looking druid is staying back, though. They're not going to quite reach you, though, because they use their action to work free and then their movement to move towards you. Out in the distance in this vineyard, you can see what looks to be this figure moving through the fog as they start to pull free. And it looks like another one of these larger blight creatures, like you saw come break free from the vat side. And let's see, everybody who's slow, who's up first? Dre, you were going slow and you were up first.
I will staunch my bleeding.
All right. Might be a good move. So you will not be bleeding, but that is your whole action that turn. And let's see, next would be Mornek. You can see above you, Dre is engaged with this really elderly, powerful-looking druid. Dre's just covered in blood that he's trying to stop. Out in the field, these other people are rushing towards your friends. What would you like to do?
I would like to... Excuse me. I would like to go ahead and attempt to cast Maddening Screams on this guy.
Alrighty.
Am I within short range of him?
The main druid guy upstairs, yes.
Okay. I need to make an intellect attack against his will.
His will is only a 10.
Okay, and... Okay, so that's a 12.
That's a hit.
So he gains 1d6 insanity.
Ooh. You want to roll it or you want me to?
I'll roll it.
All right, go for it.
That's going to be 1.
1 insanity. Got it. And do you want to take a move action still?
Yeah, I'll try and get a little bit closer to him so I can whack him with my staff.
Yeah. With Dre having him sort of occupied at the moment, you can climb up there. I don't even need a check or anything. It's just going to basically take your action, but you'll be able to pull yourself up the side of the lattice work and up to the balcony above. Let's see. Dre went. Let's see. Next would be Victor.
Okay. Can I get enough movement to make it up there and attack the druid? Like, be close enough to physically attack him?
If you give me a strength challenge roll and you succeed, yes. Pull yourself up fast enough.
And then another question I have: the wood that's above us, is it like planks to where there's like maybe a little bit of spacing in between?
Yep. Just a basic like a deck.
Okay, and I can see him through the wood, right?
Mm-hmm.
How wide is my bastard sword? Like, do I think I could fit through the floor and
Up
stab
above?
him? Yeah.
Probably not. It's 15 foot above you to begin with.
Okay.
The loft is.
Yeah, never mind. Okay, so it's the strength. All right, we'll do it that way. Come home. Ooh, okay. So that should be a 19, I believe.
Yeah, so you could, quickly climb up the side of this and flip yourself over the balcony and run forward. So yeah, you can make an attack still.
All right. And then as I go to swing down with my master sword, I'm going to yell at him that he is my prey. So hopefully I can take off his head.
Let me turn my alarm that's going off.
Ooh, that would be 19, 20.
What? I got you dinner.
That would be
You go
20,
outside?
21.
Go outside, get down.
You're Morgan? Or you're Morgan. Yes, you're Morgan muted. So you're muted.
All right. So yes, that is a hit.
All right. And is a 21 5 or higher than his defense?
21. His defense is 16. So yes.
Okay. And I'm assuming we don't have extra goober with a extra D6 damage, right?
Extra what?
The extra D6 damage guy that would run and attack with us.
He's there. Yeah, you could use him still. Yeah.
All right. Well, if no one minds, I'm going to go ahead and... Okay. I'm getting the heads up from Mud, so that's going to be 5d6 damage.
Yeah.
9, 10, 11, 12.
Considering we forgot him every other round.
So that's going to be 18 damage that's going to be coming down on top of him.
Nice. Got it. So you shatter some of these antlers that he has sort of on his clothing around and cleave down into his arm. You'll see this thick black of crimson just spray from his arm as he rips himself back. That would be Victor. Mud, you are up. You can see these 3 more barbaric-looking druids running across the field towards you. The older druidy-looking one is staying back. Looks like he's getting ready to prepare another spell.
Yeah, but
and then
he's still on our side of the grasping hands.
Yes.
So I think Mud, maybe surprisingly to everybody, is going to keep moving forward, grab at the chain and spike ball on his waist, and swing his flail in a full overhand at that druid.
All right.
Yeah, he's going to move right into the pile and swing at that druid. And as the flail is coming down, the spikes on it are going to turn into shards of jagged ice as he swings in. Oh, for a natural 20 plus a 6 on the boot.
Ooh, that is a hit. Oh, that's definitely a hit. Oh, yes.
And I believe he's going to have a little flash as it hits, as one of his 0 level spell slots adds another d6 to it.
Ooh, all right.
4, 8, 9, 10, 11 damage as it jams down.
Ouch. Yeah, this is going to smash into his shoulder, and you can actually see he crumples a little bit under the weight of this blast. He sort of falls down one knee, and his hands are in the dirt. And he'll look up at you and let this growl come free. You can see his shoulders start to snap back a little bit, and this thick fur starts to grow out of his shoulders. Some of his limbs and his muscles bulge a little bit. Anything else?
And I think for the first time, anybody who's traveled Mud so far has seen as he swings the flail down and slams into him, Mud's just going to put his arms out wide and snarl and growl at her as he slams into the guy.
Nice. You'll see this flash of black go past you, Vasily, and then it's sort of a blur at the moment. As you watch it, it seems to blend with the mist and blur, and you can see the colors of black and red as Jack skips forward. It's almost like he's ghostly looking as he wades into the fray of these 3 druids, and you can just see the flash of his blade. Let's see what he can do to these guys. Yeah, he will wade in. You can hear this fighting go beside you, Mud. Just a quick sort of glance over your shoulder, and you can see what looks to be Jack, though he's more of a blurry image, in between these three barbaric-looking druids, and one of them just drops to the ground. Bits and pieces of them chunked apart. You see a limb flail in one direction. His foot goes in another. Why is my alarm going off again? Hold on.
So, do we want to take bets? Who's going to get their guys killed first? Yeah, we're fighting a boss, but you guys are fighting, 3 minions. It should be easy for you guys, right?
Plus, there's something else moving out in the woods. So
Yeah.
there's something else out
I'm
there.
just hearing excuses right now. Like, we're fighting a boss. So,
All right. So yeah, you're just going to see one of these druids drop beside you, or these barbarians drop beside you, but just completely ripped apart with serrated edges of his blade. And it'll stop long enough, and he'll smile at you, Mud. You just see this wide Joker, serrated teeth smile as he grins at you. Good time for a bit of fun, my friend. You get the druid. I got these fellows. And with that, we just got Stefania left, and she's going to rush forward and enter this fray as well. She's going to come up beside you, Mud, and you see these weird-looking daggers that she has. It's sort of tri-blades. And again, she's just going to slam them down into the back of this druid that's in front of you on the ground. Dig them deep in as she rips them free. It does a few points. And slams him down into his back and then pulls free. You can see he stumbles back a few, but all of his muscles begin to bulge awkwardly. His face starts to contort. That is the end of the round. Actually, no, it's not. Up above Dre, where you are, this druid snarls. He takes a few steps forward when Victor comes up and just lays into him. Give me an strength challenge roll with 3 Banes, Victor.
okay.
Oh, Victor and Dre, it's a cone, so both of you.
Ooh. Well, you said strength, right?
Yes.
16.
Alrighty. And Dre.
Oh no, it'd be 3.
All
Yeah, it'd be
right.
3.
So
Okay.
you can feel this heavy blast of gale force winds slam into both of you. It's going to push you back 15 feet, Victor, but you're going to be able to catch yourself on the railing there because it's a 15-foot balcony. So it's just going to slam you up against this balcony. You're only going to take 1 point of damage, Victor. Unfortunately, Dre, the full force of this seems to hit you, and it's going to throw you back 30 feet. You're going to take 3 points of damage from the winds itself, but you got falling damage.
Woo!
Is it any way possible for me to, grab him as he's flying, or no? To prevent him from, falling the rest of the way?
If you give me, I'll say, an agility challenge roll with 2 Banes, but if you fail, you're both going over.
Let me check what my agility is, because it's not super great. You know what? I like Dre, so I'm gonna do it. Oh, crappers. That's an 8. I was close. I had a 10, but then the Bane is 4, so that's gonna be.
In that case, you both take another 9 points of damage as you go over the side and slam down into the ground below. It was just out of range of you, Mornek, so you're lucky enough you didn't get caught in that. But you can feel these heavy, buffety winds blast up against you, Mornek, and drive you back a few feet. But it's just you and him up there on the balcony left at the moment, Mornek. And now it is the end of the
Victor,
round.
keep in mind going forward, I know it hasn't come up yet, but you have +2 to your defense because Mud gave you his shield on the way out.
Yeah, but the Bastard Sword's a 2-handed weapon,
Oh.
so I have it on my back. If I could turn around and let him smack my butt, that would work. But
You just gave him a ranged weapon, is all.
yeah, that's why Victor was smiling because he's gonna throw
Kind of regret this.
All right, now it's the proper end of the round, so who would like to go fast?
I just have a logistical question. For me to use an incantation, will I have to use an action to pull it out and then an action to cast it?
Nope, just an action to use it.
Okay.
It's assumed a free action to pull it out.
Okay, I'm going to go slow then.
Vasily is slow, got it.
Go
Fast.
See, Mud is fast, Mornak is fast. Or was that Mornak? Was that fast?
Yeah.
Okay. Victor and Dre?
Ray will go slow.
Yeah, I think Victor will go slow.
All right. And I rolled really good this round. That's lucky for all of you. You'll see this druid come up. He just charges forth towards you, Mornak. I'm going to use his ability to go before you can do anything. And he's just swiping at you with the staff. Let's see, I got a 18 to hit. Which I'm thinking hits.
My defense is 15, but I think I still have my thing up that gives him a bane.
Let's see what he gets for. Well, it's going to cancel out once. Let's see what. Yeah, it'll just cancel out the one, so it won't really matter because he's got 2 boons.
Okay, cool.
So it would still hit because I rolled a 4 and a 4 with the banes or the boons, so it's same either way.
Okay.
Just we'll put that on here so I don't forget it though. So bane. In that case, 18. Let's see damage. That'll be double 6s, so 12 points of damage. He's going to come forward, Mornak, and just strike you right across the side of the head with this bloody staff that he has. I need a will challenge roll from you, please.
That's going to be a 12.
All right, that's a will challenge roll. I'm sorry, will challenge roll with 2 banes.
Oh, let me roll the banes.
That's my fault.
Hey, that's going to be an 8.
All right. So you can take 12 points of damage as he cracks you across the head, and then give yourself 1 point of corruption. You can see this black blood that smears across the side of your face when he hits you with this thing. It just seems to seep in to the side of your face, and it leaves like this large, almost like a blackish colored birthmark on the side of your head. And you can feel this pounding migraine. And with that, as you kind of stumble back a few, he reaches out.
Well, I've dropped.
Oh, even better then. In that case, he's going to hold his staff above, and as Dre and Victor, as you look up, you see that he grabs the staff and just drives it down into Mornak. You don't have to do anything, Mornak, but you gain 1 point of corruption each round until you're either dead or back up. But I will keep track of that for you. And so that's 2 of his actions. He's going to hold the rest. Let's see. In that case, Mornak, you are up. I need a death roll from you. A 1d6.
Is that a D20?
Nope, 1d6. You don't want to get a 1.
2.
2. So you are basically just kind of laying there dying at the moment, but you're not dead yet. Mud, you are up.
I am muted. I am right up on this other drone, right?
Yep. You can see that he looks like he's transforming into something on the ground.
All right, well, I am going to whirl the flail around and try to whack him again. Same thing, it kind of ices up as it comes. And depending on how I do here, I'll describe the rest of it. 13 plus 16 total.
That's right on the money.
All right. So 5 plus 7 more damage.
Got it.
If that's enough, you tell me.
He's still up.
Oh, okay. So yeah, the end of the flail kind of comes around and shards of ice hit him in the back. As I kind of pull him a little closer when that happens.
can see where this digs into his back and smashes in as it kind of bounces off and comes free. These wounds that you just inflicted on him almost sort of heal over a little bit. You can see it knotting back together. Let's see, that's mud. That would be slow. So let's see, the forest folk, let's see. They're going to just go after Jack because he has him kind of cornered. Okay. You can see Jack fighting back and forth with these two. They don't seem to be getting too bad onto him, but they're hitting him a little bit. And yeah, you'll see this druid that you've been smacking, Mornak, all of a sudden just lets out this roar as he starts to pull himself up. His muscles bulge out as he's almost 4 times the size that he was. He just keeps getting bigger. Muscles begin to bulge. You see this thick black fur sprout from his back. And as he comes up, you see the face of this humanoid-looking bear, and he just lets out this roar. I need a will challenge roll from you, Mud. It's going to be for fear.
Oh, okay.
Well, I think you did make a little mistake there. You did say Mornak when you started that description.
Oh, I'm sorry, Mornak.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
That's why I was like, wait a minute, Mornak's getting beat up on again? What?
So that would be
Not good.
my natural one.
All right. So you were going to be afraid, Mud. Do you have any insanity at the moment?
No insanity.
All right. So it's only going to be for 1 round at the moment. You're going to gain 1 insanity. So mark yourself for that.
All right.
So it's just to the end of this round, but you have 1 bane on everything you do, 3 banes against anything that this thing does to you.
But the insanity is permanent.
But the insanity is permanent.
All right.
And with that, this thing's just going to rush forward in a frenzy as it goes after you, Mud. Let's see, I got a 15, a 3, and a 17. Any of those hit?
The 3 does not. The 15 would not have if I didn't give my shield away. So the 15 and the 17 hit.
All right. 5, 9, 13, 14 points of damage as it just rushes forward. You can see these huge claws grow from each hand as it just lays into you.
So question, in this system, do I have to match my hit points to go unconscious or go over them?
Match.
Match, Mud hits the ground. I had exactly 14 left.
Yep. So yes, it will just drop you to the ground, and then it just starts bounding across the field towards where Jack and Stefania are in the midst of these other ones, just leaving you behind. Actually, it'll probably grab a hold of you and shake you a few times and hurl you off to the distance for good measure, but... And he is up. I'll have Jack and Stefania try to take out these druids. So they are just going fast. Yeah. You'll see Jack just lay into another and taking another one out, just tearing it into pieces. Maybe Stefania would be lucky. Yeah. And as this huge, it looks like a humanoid bear-like creature charges forth, she'll leap up onto the back of this thing, digs her blades in as deep as they can go, and just drags them across before she's throwing off. But she does a little damage. So over to slow. Let's see, Dre, you are going slow. You would be up first.
So I'm going to use an endurance point, get some of my juicy heals back, because I am not loving my life. And then I will... So the druid's still on the top of the building.
Yep, you can see this battle going out in the courtyard and stuff, but up above you, it's right at the edge of the balcony. He's basically looking down at you as he just slams this bloody staff that he has down and basically right through Mornak's gut. You can see blood just pouring down from the balcony above. Whether it's the staffs or Mornak's, you're not sure.
Sure. Would he be within short range of me?
Yes.
Okay, so I'll use my endurance point, and I heal my healing rate with an endurance point, correct?
Yep.
Geez, I'm still not looking good though. And then I'm going to try to flip a dagger at this guy and see if I can do some damage. Oh no, this is against his defense, not his agility. not going to be great. 15.
I think it's a 16 on him. Yep, defense 16.
Oh, no!
Anything else?
No, that is my... So an endurance point is an action or not an action?
Yep, that's an action. That'll be your move action, and then your attack.
That'll be
So, yep.
my 2 actions done.
And then, okay, so Vasily, you would be up. You can see Jack and Stefania battling these. There's one bear druid guy left, and then this other druid. But I do need a will challenge roll from Vasily because he doesn't like bears very much.
And with my will bane, I get a 1 total.
All right, give yourself a 1 insanity, and you're going to be afraid or feared by this bear-like creature. So anything you do has bane, and 3 banes against this bear creature. But you are up.
Okay. How far is mud from me?
About 20 yards out. 1 move.
Okay, so I'm just going to quickly run around this bear man, and towards mud as quickly as I can, and use my quick step if I have to get the extra distance. I'm going to pull out my healing kit and try to patch up his wound.
All right. Yeah, you can get around these with that quick step quickly. You can see this bear sort of... Go ahead.
Does my healing kit give me a boon on my roll?
Correct. Yep. And you'll make a will. Or is it intellect? I think it's an intellect, actually.
I almost feel like this is a small bucket on the Titanic. But
yeah, intellect to do intellect roll. You're going to have a boon because of your med kit.
And then 1 bane for my fear.
Yep. And if you can,
so just
10 or higher would be 1 hit point back from him.
Straight roll. Hey, 11.
So you got 1 hit point, Mud.
Does that bring me back to consciousness, or?
Yes, it does.
You see wide-eyed Vasily leaning over you. My tusked friend, your time is not yet at an end.
And slash slow would be a Victor.
Alrighty. Can I use Dre, no offense, Dre, as a stepping stone to help me climb up and AKA get a boon on doing the strength? Is that possible?
Sure.
I'm going to just kind of heave him up. Yeah, that's fine with me.
All right. Thanks, Dre. Ooh, that's a 23.
All right. So, yeah, you can grab a hold of the balcony above and pull yourself up and over.
All right. And then in doing so, yeah, Victor's just going to just try to ham into this guy because he's got his staff into his friends, so he doesn't like that.
You can see his just tore right through Mornak's chest, right down into the floorboards. Just this thick black vines that grown from it across Mornak's body.
Does a 17 hit?
Yes.
Sweet. And because no one used him last time, I'm using the extra D6 guy again.
Go for it.
Sadly, it's not going to be as much damage. Wait. 10, 12. 14 damage.
14. His drag is up there with you, just hacking at this guy, apparently. He's following behind you like a trusty soldier. And you jumped up. And... Oh, I need let's see, agility challenge roll from Victor, please.
Any banes?
My bad. 2 banes.
2 banes. Ah, okay. I failed. Like I'm not even gonna throw out that number. It's way below 10.
So as your sword once again cleaves into this thing, and you can see Drag comes up and buries his axe deep into the sky as well. You can see he just wipes his hand out in front of you, holding the staff rigid as he can. So it just keeps pouring this black blood-like liquid into Mornak. You're both going to be hit by Gale Force Winds again, and you're both going over. Dude, I just rolled 4 6s on a 4d6, so that's 24 points of damage, Victor.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm going
I
to
only
say
had
that
a-
takes out drag as well because that was the perfect roll. So you'll see a drag just get flowing off the side of this thing and hit the ground in a crumpled, bloody mess as he skids across the ground. Gets impaled on some pitchforks into the distance. Same
Jesus.
with you, Victor. You look up Drain to see both of them fly overhead and just smash into some crates and farm tools off to the side. Does that take Victor down?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I thought so.
Victor would be like negative, probably like 12, 15, if not more.
Man, too bad I wasn't playing Yahtzee. Well, in that case, that would be the end of the round. I need give yourself one more point of corruption, Mornak. And that wasn't until the end of the round, so that doesn't matter. So, who would like to go fast? I don't know who's up yet, but let's see. Mud, you're up. Fast or slow? You're muted.
Did that druid, after he rolled over me, actually move out of my range, or is he still in?
No, he would still be within pretty close range.
Then I'll go fast.
Gotcha. Let's see. Mornak is down. I'll have you do a death roll in just a minute. Vasily?
Well, either way, I'm going to go fast. I'm just curious, do I see the guy up on the ledge or up on the balcony?
Oh, for sure, yeah. Plus, you probably would have looked over seeing these two get blasted off the side of it.
And do I still have my Bane on me?
You have it for a number of rounds equal to your insanity.
Okay, so I still have insanity before or after my...
After.
After, okay, so I have it for 2 more rounds then.
All right. And did you say fast?
Yeah, I'm going fast.
All right. Victor's down, and Dre, fast or slow?
I think I'm gonna go slow.
Go slow. Gotcha. All right. Mornak and Victor, I need... I'll wait for Victor to get back, but Mornak, I need a death roll. 1d6 roll. Just let me know what you get.
Oops, I was muted. I got a 4.
All right, so 4, you're okay for one more round. Victor, I need a death roll from you, please.
So sorry, real quick, Morgan. If I'm, even though I'm out of healing spells, can I attempt to stabilize one of these guys? Or?
Yep, you can do an intellect challenge roll to try and stabilize them, kind of like a medicine. You can get a boon if one of your professions fits it.
I'm not going to change it this round, but just so I know for next round.
2 of 3.
I got a 2.
2. So you are okay for the moment. That's 1 of 3. Gotcha. With this druid is going to go before you can do anything. You can see he just keeps this staff buried deep into Mornak as it just continues to fill this elf with corruption. And he looks down at you, Dre, points his fingers, and you can see these shards of glass and rock and everything coming at you once again. I need an agility challenge roll with 2 banes.
Okie dokie. Come on, baby. Actually, I'm going to change my D20. In a bad D20.
Get a good one.
I got a good one. So 18 plus 21 minus 5 is 16.
Well, that's a success, so it's not going to deal bleeding damage. 3 points of damage is all you're going to take in this case. Is that scrapes across you. You're able to get out of the way of the main blunt of this and staunch any bleeding that you might have had. And with that, he will go back to focusing on just continuing to pump Mornak full of corruption. Mornak, just for your character's sake, you can just make a note on there, 2 rounds, because I'll need to know how many rounds it is total at the end of this fight if they don't get you up on what happens. And let's see. So everybody's going first. Let's see. Mud or Vasily? Vasily, you are first.
How bad does that guy look up on top?
Oh, he's bloodied pretty bad. Still
All
probably has this huge bleeding wound from a long knife that was buried into him and axe still stuck in him. He's pretty bad.
So in my frenzied insanity, I just stand up and hold my hands up in the air and point at him and say, "Ivan Vadu, your rip claws are dead!" And I fire off a magic dart at him.
Nice.
And he takes 4 points of damage.
Nice. These will blast into him. You can see he stumbles back. A few of these huge scorch marks blast off another bit of these antlers that are attached to his headdress. He's still up, but it's not looking good. Now we put Mud up. You're right in the midst of basically Jack and Stefania fighting a forest folk and this werebear.
So I think Mud will kind of just jolt up, slam his hand down, grab his flail, and swing it out towards the werebear again. So 18.
That'll hit.
All right. For, 8 damage.
Gotcha.
And if that's enough...
To kill him? No.
Oh, it's worth a shot. It's worth a shot.
Now you'll slamming this, you can hear a snapping of some bones and the splatter of blood. But as soon as your thing pulls free again, some of that just starts to knot back up and scar over.
I think even if it doesn't kill him, kind of muddle, just coming out from being unconscious again, it will swing that flail around, and if it kind of knocks him back a little bit, Mudd will take a chance to like grab it here and reach over and bite him, and then back and ready to fight again.
Gnawing on this guy.
Mudd's going full barbarian at a certain point here.
Beautiful. All right. Well, let's see. This. Well, if you're fighting him, he's going to be coming right back at you. So this is all on you in that case. 23, which I know hits. 13. I don't think that does. And a 4 is 5 does not. So only one hit, but it's going to be 7 points of damage on you, Mud, as he just turns around, his huge claw swiping right across the side of your face, nearly ripping it free.
So I'd like to think, since I got healed for 1 point of damage, I'd like to think Mud takes a piece of his ear as he falls back down.
Just tearing a part of the werebear ear, still in your teeth as you hit the ground once again. And this thing will let out a roar and turn back and just lay into Stefania. Oh, crap.
I'm a really good distraction, folks.
The guy who is technically dead, the only one who survives.
Those watching, I guess Jack is standing there. Vasilius, you're sort of watching this. The other's distracted. But this bear turns around. You can see that it chomps down the back of Stefania's, sort of the shoulders, and just lifts her up and just shakes her back and forth, just tearing her apart before hurling her off to the side. She'll crumple at your feet, Vasily, just completely tore apart as she's staring up at you with this sort of blank look on her eyes. You can see her breath is slowly, quickly dying out of her. And let's see, that's all the fasts. Let's see, the forest folk is just going to go on Jack, who can hold his own for the moment. There's one forest folk left in this bear. They both turn on Jack as he's trying to keep him back. And he'll look over at Mud on the ground, Victor in the distance, and everything just going to hell in a hurry. I guess that would hop over to Dre.
Okay. I'm going to use my nimble recovery, so I will heal a little bit of health. And I can move half my speed without triggering any free attacks. Would that get me up to where this druid is?
Yeah, that'd be fine. He's just above you, so yeah.
I'm a long knife, this motherfucker.
Go for it.
Okay. Oh, I'm so glad I changed this D20. So that's going to be, this is against his agility, not his defense. That'll be a 20 to hit.
Yep, that's a hit.
Does that beat it by 5 by any chance?
It does.
Oh, baby. All right, I'll roll this damage first. Not great damage. That's 3 damage.
Alrighty.
Why do I feel like Dre is Drax?
And then I will roll for my second attack. Please, baby. Oh, that's a 19 on the die. And a 6 with one of my boons. So that'll be 25 to hit.
Yep.
All right, let's do some damage. Please.
Might take him out, depending on how good you do.
Oh, how does 9 damage sound?
And will that, let's see. That will take him down. Go ahead and describe how you take him out.
Oh, very, very quick and efficient. I like to think this druid is kind of feeling a little cocky, looking down at Mornak, just ready to pump him full of that corruption one last time, and then doesn't see me dash up the stairs and just 2 quick slashes across the chest and the throat. Put him down.
Nice. You will see him stumble back a few feet, this huge gash open across his neck. Is my faucet thing in the background super loud for you guys?
What?
No? Okay.
Not to me. No.
I don't know what they're doing. Okay. So yeah, you'll see this huge gash, and his head will sort of just fall back a little bit, and it just splits right at the neck as he hits the ground hard. In the distance, I guess Vasily is still up, and Dre, but if you guys glance out across the distance, you can see this huge mound of vegetation that was crawling the stuff, pulling the stuff across the field just start to fall and decay right where it's at. These 2 druids are not affected by that, though, so they are still up. Everybody went.
I forgot about the other shambling mound.
It was way out there and did not make it in time. That's unfortunate. Sweet. All right, that would be the end of the round because he's dead, so. Gotcha. Let's see. Mornak, just make a note that you have 1 more corruption since it's the end of the round.
Okay.
And so what do we got left? Mud, fast or slow? You are down, aren't you?
Yes, so I would like to bleed out slowly.
All right, I'll have you do your thing in just a minute. Vasily, you are up. Fast or slow?
Fast.
And Dre is up. Fast or slow?
I'm gonna go. I'll go fast.
Gotcha. And those guys don't matter. So, Mud, Mornak, and Victor, I need your 1d6 death rolls.
I rolled a 4.
You're good for 1 more round. I'm assuming that's a 1.
That's a 6.
Oh, a 6? Then you got 1 hit point.
He's back, baby.
But Bud literally has nothing left. Like,
Yeah, but this werebear's got 1 career, bro.
He has 1 hit point.
And I got a 4.
All right. So, Mornak, in your case, this is the 3rd of 3 rounds. So if nobody heals you or gets to you and medicates you or gets you up at the end of this round, you are dead.
Okay.
Gotcha.
And I don't need rolls from anybody else. So let's see. Vasily and Dre. Dre, you are up first.
I'm just going to get straight to Mornak, and using my medicine and healer profession, I will attempt to heal him. Or
All right.
stabilize him, I should say.
Yep. Intellect challenge roll. You're going to get 1 boon from that. Do you have a med kit on you or just a profession?
Just, I've got the healer and the medicine profession.
All right. So yeah, just 1 boon then on that intellect challenge roll.
Oh, that's a 19. 24. I rolled
Oh,
5
totally.
on my boon.
Beautiful. So Mornak, he will stabilize you. You can put yourself at 1 health or 1 less damage, whatever it is. In that case, Mornak, but you had a total, it wouldn't go to the end of this round, so as you pop your eyes open, Mornak, your body feels sort of stiff. As you're looking down at him, Dre, you can see that bits and pieces of his skin is covered over by like a thick, barky, dry type skin. Both of his eyes have this greenish, brown, woodland sort of color. You can see leaves and roots that have started to grow into his hair. And all of his fingers are very barky and sort of tendril-like as you were started to be turned into a blight, Mornak. So you're going to have the 3 points of corruption on top of whatever you had. And just make a note on there that you're part plant, basically.
Yeah, so does all this bark give him extra AC or defense?
It does not.
Aw,
It's just uncomfortable and
that's
itchy.
peace.
Does he have to tell everybody he meets that he's a vegan now?
Well, wouldn't he be a cannibal if he ate plants?
Yeah, he's a.
That's true.
Salad. Carnitine.
Let's see. Oh, Mud, since you rolled your thing, do you want to go fast or slow?
what is still going on? So
What do you got? Right? You got a
I still got the
werebear.
bear, right?
Yep, and one of the barbarian dudes is still beside you.
I guess Mud is just going to. Well, in order to stand up before I attack, do I need to go slow?
Yes,
Yeah,
yes.
I'll go slow.
And I forgot about it, but when you're attacking him, you had, oh no, your insanity, your fear is over of him now anyway. But you would have had 3 Banes, but you're good. So in that case, Vasily, you are up.
How bad do both these guys look?
The one was only hit by your scrabbling claws, the one, so he's not too bad. The werebear is bloodied mess at the moment.
Okay. So I'm still in the middle of my fear. So I just look at him and say, Ivan Vadu, and I point my finger at him and fire my last spell, another magic dart.
All right.
Oh. And he takes 3 points of damage.
Got it. Let's get in there as you nickel him slowly. It'll blast off some of this fur onto his shoulder. This one you do not notice as you're standing there, Mud. It doesn't really seem to heal over or do anything. He takes the full brunt of this damage from this blast. Vasily. And then he is going to lay into Jack since you aren't technically a threat at the moment, Mud. Let's see how Jack fares. I didn't roll below an 18 on that.
I almost feel like I want to give a boon to the werebear because it's attacking Jack.
Jack, seemingly having his back to this thing as he's battling off this other forest folk, will turn just in time to see this bear lay into him. Huge gash across his back as this thing chomps down into the back of his head and whips him about a few times. As it throws him through the air, you can just see this limp form of Jack sort of flailing. It's just this black explosion of birds as it takes off into the sky.
Oh, I wanted the necklace.
And he is... actually, you probably see like 7 or 8 of those flash of birds just drop to the ground, a bloodied mess, because he's not very well good. Mud, you are up.
I guess Mud's going to get himself up to one knee, grab his flail, and swing out at this werebear again. I mean, I can't really move anywhere. So, yeah.
You remind me of the Black Knight from Monty Python.
That's really how I feel now. That's an 18 to hit.
That's a hit.
As the spikes come out, the ice shards come out. We do not have the NPC anymore, right?
He is, yeah, he's mutilated. He's over there in the corner with
7.
Victor. Ooh, does that do it? I think that does it. That does it. Go ahead and describe what you do to this werebear.
All right, so I think this is going to be Mud kind of jumps back up as the werebear's crawling over him to get to Jack, and I think Mud's going to push his flail up as the ice shards come out and just hold onto the ball of the flail and gut the bear from below.
It just crumbles to the ground. Over a few moments, you see its features start to twist and contort. It turns back into this frail-looking old man on the ground. Just a bloodied pulp of a mess. There's just the one forest folk left. He's going slow, so you can see him look around at this, and then he charges towards you, Vasily, this huge axe overhead as it comes down towards you. Let's see, a 16 and a 16 on both.
Both of them.
So it's going to be 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 13 points of damage, Vasily. As his axe comes overhead and just slams into your shoulders, just sort of cleaves you right down into the chest. He'll puts his foot on your chest, rips his axe free, and turns around. He would notice you next to Dre, but that is the end of the round. Let me roll a death roll for Stefania. She is still breathing. That is the end of the round. Let's see. Oh, Mornak, you got up, so you have an action if you would like to take it. And you're muted, Mornak.
Sorry about that. So there's one more barbarian up, is that correct?
Yep, that is it. Just this one barbarian battling, well, just cleaved and Vasily in half down into the distance. He's short range of you.
Okay. I'm going to go ahead and mind stab him. So I make an intellect attack against his intellect.
His intellect is only an 8.
That is a natural 20.
Does that do anything on a 20 plus? Some spells do.
Yes, it does an extra d6 of damage.
Ooh,
So that's going to be...
Take him.
That's going to be 10 points of damage.
Right on the money. That's exactly what you needed. What does this mind stab look like when you do it?
Well, Mornak's going to... He's still laying on the ground, but he's going to reach up and put 2 fingers on his temple and say, "By the hag who kept me prisoner." And then this barbarian's head is just he's gonna put his hands up and to it, and then all of a sudden his head just explodes.
Nice. Just this spray of brain matter across Vasily, who is on the ground. And that is everybody. Mud, you're up still, right?
I am.
And then Mornak and Dre. So Mud, Mornak, Dre, as you guys look around, you can see this last barbarian. It looks like he's turning to get ready to face towards you, Dre, and then his head just explodes from his body. Up above, you can see Mornak with his hands up to his head as he looks like he's done something here. Victor lies in a pile of old farm tools, bits and pieces of a pitchfork sticking through his chest. Drag is just completely mutilated over there. Stefania and Vasily lay in the distance, side by side. You can see they're barely breathing. What do you all do? There's this flock of crows that are flying off through the sky in the distance.
All right. So for Mud, I'm going to make a roll here. You decide the difficulty number. He has went down like 3 times, got a bunch of insanity and all that. So as of right now, Mud is beating the corpse of the druid. And whether or not he gets the presence of mind with a 16 do anything else. I was kind of thinking a willpower roll, but
why don't you give me a 1d3 roll, or 1d6, cut it in half.
yeah. So it's 1.
All right, give yourself another point of insanity as you just completely continue just to pulverize this bear druid fellow into the ground. What are the rest of you doing?
I think anybody else that sees this, though, you'll see Mud beating on this guy and then occasionally looking over his shoulder and cackling to the air behind his shoulder as he does this.
At the moment, Victor's going gurgle, gurgle, gurgle.
Yeah, you want me to make it death saves?
Well, I got Victor's. Actually, I didn't give Vasily's. Yeah, why don't you give me a death save, Vasily? Just see what you get.
I've got a 2.
All right. So, yeah, you guys will be stable for a few moments. Does anybody try to go over to them, or what do you guys do? Mud looks obviously busy, but...
Well, I would like to think as my corpse got flung in the air and then finally landed, the healer's kit fell out of my backpack and lands on the ground next to me. That's what I would like to believe. So,
and you landed on it at the perfect angle for it to heal you.
Your fingers just stretched out, pointing at it.
Well, I don't want to get too overboard there. Like, you got to make it somewhat believable.
Who is Dre closest to?
They're both equal distance, pretty much, just in opposite directions. So it's totally up to you.
Don't make me choose.
I did try to save you, falling off the building. I'm going to throw that out there.
Yeah, I would run to Victor because Victor was the first one to fall. So Victor would have been the first one I would have seen go down.
As he flew over top of you.
Yeah, he'd be the one that I would have seen.
All right. So
With
go
his-
ahead.
With his healer's kit laying next to him.
Fucking hell.
Oh, how convenient.
Give yourself an intellect challenge roll with one boon.
Alright.
Right. See if you can stabilize him.
Wouldn't he
how
get
does
another boon from his
21 sound?
professions?
Oh, he has one from his profession too. Yes.
21.
All right. So yeah, you can stabilize Victor. So put yourself at 1 health, Victor.
Yay.
And let's see. Do you do anything more, Nick?
Ornak's going to grab his staff, kind of use it to pull himself up, and his robes are now tattered, and he looks really, really pale, like he's just going to fall over. And he's just going to reach out his hand and say, "Bud, kick him a couple times for me." And it's one of his new tree-like bark hands that he's doing it with.
Well, ball is in your court, fellas. Just let me know what you do.
I'm still unconscious.
Yeah, I was going to ask, is all of us back up yet? Or
No, Vasily is still down and Stefania is still down.
okay, I think I would go, like, thank Dre for helping me up and then, like, get the gist of the situation and then try to get to Vasily.
Dre will move to Stefania and attempt to heal
Okay,
check.
so this is going to take them a turn to reach you guys. So Vasily, give me one more death roll.
Up 5.
All right, so he's going to last you long enough. Let's see if Stefania does. Ooh, actually, she got a 6. So as you get over to Stefania, you can see she just starts coughing up blood and starts to sit up a little bit. She has 1 back, so you won't need to heal her. And she sits up and looks around, just completely bloodied. The whole shoulder is just pouring forth blood. So you're still going to have to bind that up a bit, Dre. But yeah, Victor, you can get over to Vasily. And you can attempt. You got 1 chance to try and medicate him.
Okay. I think Victor's going to run over. Of course, he's got his healer's kit, but he's going to be like, live! And he's just going to start taking both hands and start pounding on his chest. The 12?
So that is a success for the 10. So yes, Vasily, you will put yourself at 1 as well as you wake up.
Where are they all?
Looks like they're dead. And almost half of us this time, too.
What happened to that fiend Jack?
I don't know. I think I was sleeping. Why is Mud beating the crap out of that, whatever that is now that he's beating the crap out of?
I turn over and look at him, and I go over there. Is he in bear form, the body?
In between, like a humanoid bear mutation, yeah.
Prying bear teeth out of his mouth.
And Victor's like, as you're doing, he's like, oh, never mind. And he's going to try to look for someone that's not completely insane yet.
I don't think you'll find it among us.
I think Dre is probably the most non-insane, so he'll go over to Dre and just like stand next to him just to get some normalcy.
And just to keep up with what's going on right now, as soon as Vasily kind of leaves,
Just trying to sew a shoulder.
Mud will grab the bear by the leg and swing it as hard as he can into the closest tree. And just slam it in. And then probably kind of just start walking off on his own. Not going to go too far, but kind of just walk away from the crowd.
Now, a quick question. Why are we here and doing these things here?
For the
Wine! For wine!
Oh.
It's been days since I had any.
I hope it's not any of that wine from those vats that was in the inside.
They might have some storage, some stocked up, but I wouldn't drink the stuff inside.
Yes, I detected magic on that, and there was some vile curse upon it.
Ooh.
Yeah, Stefani will stand up and sort of support herself on you, Dre, if you let her. And as you bind
Yeah,
up her shoulder, says, thank you all. I believe we all deserve a drink and a bit of rest. And she'll look around, and if you would like, go in, take a rest, take a few moments. I'm going to go find Davian and the others. I'll meet you all back here. And she'll
See
just...
if you can find a bottle of the wine.
It's in the cellar. There should be perhaps 40 bottles left, a few kegs. Says, I fear that's all we have left right now. And she'll look around at these fields. And you can see all of them are in different stages of decay. All the vines, all the grapes. And she'll just kind of presses her lips together, looks around, and puts her head down and starts trudging off down this road to where this old man was off in the distance and where she sent the others.
Victor's gonna hold up his finger as she's like looking around, and he's like, and he's gonna run towards the house where the druid was. And is the staff still up there?
The staff is there, yes.
And is it okay? He's gonna run up to the staff. Is it still bleeding and coursing and all that?
It's lying on the ground, but yeah.
Victor's going to reach down. I think I'm gonna regret this, and grab it, and then take his bastard sword, and then try to cut it in half.
Give me a will challenge roll, please.
Yeah, that's what I figured.
I think it's with 3 banes. Yes, 3 banes.
All right. Okay, so that's a -3.
As you touch this thing, it's almost instant. You can see these thorns sprout from it. They tear into the flesh of your hand, and you can see all of this black blood-like ichor starting to go through your veins. Take 4 points of corruption. And then, if you want to snap this thing, you can.
Okay. All right, so I'm going to try to cut it in half.
Yeah, as you bring this thing down and tear it in half, it'll split in half, and the whole thing almost like an old rotted limb just kind of crumbles apart, kind of soggy in the middle. And it just spills forth with all of this black ichor across the floorboards, and it almost rots right there where it is. But where these thorns went into your hand, you can see these black veins crawling up your forearm, and they seem to be inside your veins itself as it slowly crawls up your forearm.
And it's not stopping?
No.
Okay.
Quick, amputate the arm.
Well, I mean, that's what he would try to do. First, he would try to either stop it with his hand or a tourniquet, and if it keeps going, he will actually try to hack off his arm.
You can sever your arm if you would like.
Well, does the tourniquet work first?
I'm sorry. Is anybody else concerned about how nonchalantly Morgan said that?
Yeah. Am I anywhere near Victor at this stage? Or is he back on
you would be just right down below. I mean, so yeah. If you do a quick tourniquet on there, Victor, now it doesn't seem to really stop. It doesn't seem like a blood flow more than something arcane or something twisted.
All right, there goes the arm. Unless someone stops me, but yeah.
nowhere near?
So
Well,
what's
I'm
it
above
look
you,
like?
so.
What's it look like as
Victor.
you go to do that?
Victor, please. Let's let our healer do this. But can you come cut this off?
I don't think he would wait. I would think he would try to because it's hard for him to hold. Oh no, he's got a knife or a dagger. Yeah, he's just gonna pull out the dagger and just stick it underneath the arm or wherever it's starting to get close, and then just much as he can grit the pain and try to hack it off. And I think he would actually pass out because he's only at 1 hit point.
I was gonna say, unless anybody stops you could probably start cutting in there a little ways and getting a good huge chunk of it, but you're gonna take that point of damage and probably pass out.
Yep. But hopefully that would stop, or at least slow down the magic decay.
You sure hope so.
Mm-hmm.
I can roll a medicine check if you like.
If you want to try. You'll see him as he digs this blade in and starts, trying to cut up through his arm and up and around the shoulder.
Obviously.
He'll get about halfway before he hits the ground and slowly starts to bleed out.
Okay, let's have a look. Okay. 24?
I will leave it up to you then, Dre, since he is unconscious. You can take that arm, and it looks like you'd be able to
Chrissy and Kevin.
be able to stop the spread of that, but it's certainly going up his arm. It looks like it's going to be going to his chest and like towards his heart.
Okay.
So you could amputate it,
so
or
it looks to me like the corruption is spreading, so I'll pull out my long knife and very deftly just cut the arm above the elbow.
nice. All right. So just make sure you have a stump on there, Victor, and I imagine you would stabilize him at least enough and bind him up.
Sure, I'll take his healer's kit
cauterize
because he
the
can't
wound.
use it anymore.
Little body mutilation. It's all good. But yeah, you will stop the corruption in that case. You're still going to keep whatever it was you had, but that's it.
Should we cauterize the wound?
So does the rotting of the fields and all that, does that look like that might have stopped as well, or?
No, not at all.
Oh.
They all look like they're all starting to rot away. And
Well, so much for that. I tried. Mornak, I'm sorry.
Oh, good. They still got 40 bottles. That's enough for me.
Yeah, for one night.
All right. So as all of you head into this building, and you're sort of binding your wounds, licking your wounds, and trying to heal up and rest the best you can for the moment. It's going to be getting towards later afternoon. You can see Stefania comes in, Adrian beside her, who's looking pretty bad still, but he's up and walking. Davian, this old man as well, comes in behind them, and then the others start to come in. They sort of all go off to the corner and start talking, but Stefania, Adrian, and Davian will walk up to you. Stefania stops and puts a hand on your shoulder, Mud, and says, and perhaps we didn't get off to the right foot, but I'm very thankful for what you've done.
I'll actually snap my jaws at whoever it is just grabbed my shoulder.
Stefania?
Yeah, I'll just turn around and try to take a bite.
She will jump back, I guess, and sort of stare at you for a moment. Says, are you okay?
Bud will just turn away and keep staring off. He's went down multiple times. He's gained a bunch of insanity. He's feral almost right now. He has nothing left in him. He's completely feral, and the little voice in his head is really starting to get to him.
So she would sort of look to the rest of you then. Is this normal for him?
I pull out a little piece of food and I dangle it towards Mud. Mud.
Ornak's going to take out his pipes and start playing this very sad, depressing song.
Sun's getting real low there, big guy.
Come, Mud, let's go lay down. It's time to take a nap.
She'll just sort of watch and back off. Seems like Victor and Dre, perhaps the only fully sane ones at the moment. And says, yes, well, why don't a lot of you take a bit of rest here? You shouldn't be traveling the road when it's getting near night. We have food, drink. We'll have a table set shortly. You'll see this old man come over next to you, Victor. And yeah, I guess you'd still be sort of unconscious. He'll give Victor a quick whack on the head. Says, what is this fool doing again? Look at his arm. Look at his arm. Doesn't he know how to use a sword properly? I have to teach this lad how to fight.
Since I'm like at one hit point again, is that whack on the head like puts me back?
No.
Okay. Just wanted to make sure. That would be funny though.
I killed the lad again. And looks around as everybody sort of starts to break off a little bit. Stefania will show anybody that needs a room to a room for the evening, and then head downstairs and mentions that she'll have dinner prepared and invites you all to have a bite to eat tonight, to rest, and a room to stay for the evening if you would so like it. And seeing that it seems Dre and Victor seem to be the only fully sane ones out of the group at the moment. So I guess you probably look to you, Dre, and do you wish to stay here for the night? I assume you don't want to hit the roads at night, right?
Yeah, Dre will very graciously accept that because I think a lot of people need some rest, and Dre would like a little bit of rest himself.
Very well. Again, thank you. I wish I could offer more. But go, all of you.
Offer
Get a bit of
wine.
rest. We'll have wine. We'll have wine. So, if your friends feel better after a bit of rest, perhaps you can talk to them. But I'd like to have a short... She'll look over her shoulder. It's Davian, this older man, but he's over sort of to the side, talking with the others. And then looks back to you, Dre. I'd like to have a bit of words in private if we could. Just if the others are willing. But please, go ahead. Rooms are upstairs. Get a bit of rest. Relax for the evening. Food will be downstairs when you're ready. You have a good night.
Do you want to have a word with Dre?
With all of you.
Oh, gotcha. Sure.
And with that, she'll turn and sort of goes over to the others and starts talking with them, but lets you all go upstairs and get a bit of rest. This place has a whole bunch of rooms upstairs, so you can bunk together or get your own rooms. It's fully up to you.
I think Victor would start going up the stairs, and once she says come back downstairs for food, he would just stop and just sit on the stairs and just wait. Because, making multiple trips, no, not happening. So he'll just wait until dinner's ready and then go back downstairs.
We really should do something about his stump. I don't know what, but we should do something.
Victor's
Dre
gonna
will address that.
reach back behind with his good arm and pull out Mud's shield, and he's gonna try to put it on the stump and see if he can figure out a way to fasten it. So that's what his plans are for now, unless he can get a new one.
Let's see. So it's 9 o'clock. We will wrap this up. I will just go through each of you. Tell me what you do for the evening. Victor, we know you're working on your stump and trying to fashion your buckler shield there. What does Mud do? Is he...
I think Mud will kind of quietly step away from the group, and you'll see him leave and head outside. And I think the next time you see Mud, he's going to have a new layer to his cloak of werebear fur. That's basically what you just spend the whole night doing. Cutting this druid up and
So is
adding to his cloak.
Vasily going to constantly go into fear because he hates bears, and he's going to look and see you, and then going to freak him out?
So you spend the evening fashioning a nice new cloak for yourself to be able to rest a little bit as well. What does Mornak do for the evening?
Mornak is going to just find a table, preferably one near a fireplace, and he's just going to go down to the cellar and get 2 or 3 bottles and just sit there until he drinks himself into a stupor and falls asleep, and then spends the night there.
Nice. As you relax and rest away the evening, how about Dre?
Dre's probably going to find a little bit of a room for himself and just spend some time with himself. He's used to war, and he's used to fighting and killing, and people getting back to pieces on the battlefield. But this place feels a little bit more repressive than anywhere he's ever been before. So he's going to spend some time, I think, just sort of pondering his experiences and trying not to succumb to the 3 points of insanity that he still has.
Okay, I got 6 points of corruption.
Jeez,
Ooh, you got 6. I need a 1d100 or yay, what is it? Yeah, 1d100 roll from you. And Vasily, what do you do for the evening?
I find a room. I lock the door. I go into the closet. I make a nest out of clothes and blankets in the corner, and I curl up in the corner inside the closet with the door closed. And I start thinking, I need more. I need another grimoire. And just start planning and thinking about how I can make another book of magic.
Nice.
Which it's a wizard. It's a wizard feature to make a grimoire.
So as all of you head on off doing your own things for the evening, we'll pick up the next game in the morning per se. You all are going to heal 1/2 of whatever your max health is. And you will gain 1d3 plus 1 endurance points back, up to your max.
And your max is half your healing rate, rounded down?
Correct.
So I get my healing.
And let me find out that.
Oh,
What did you
wait,
get for that?
Get all my health back.
You said 1d3 plus 1
Yep.
endurance?
You got it.
Okay.
What did you get for that roll, Mornak?
Got a 34.
34. Perfect. I will text this over to you in just a moment. When you wake up in the morning, you're going to have the feature of your last corruption and this corruption.
All right, cool.
Alrighty. I don't need any other recordings. Everybody's leveled up. You'll get any kind of features you get in the morning from your spells and all of that kind of stuff. And this